What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the SEQTEK Podcast. We're so glad that you are joining us here today. My name is Matt. With me, as always, is the amazing Kenn Williamson. Kenn, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. You know, I was off last week, and I think I told you last time, I'm dealing with all these sticker burrs in my yard. And
overran.
Yes. And so last week while I was off, I didn't really go anywhere. I just kind of get caught up on stuff. And so I pulled all the sticker burrs that I could find, and I had like a hay bale of sticker burrs. It was crazy. And so, but got that taken care of. The yard's looking good. It's cruising into fall, so I'm going to have to, do the leaves and all that. But for the most part, pretty happy with the result. And now I'm back at it and back here with you. So I'm excited. How about you, man?
Yeah, no, I've been, I've gotten really into jiu-jitsu lately.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man, trying to get in shape, got really into jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu was like really fun, and it was like great. And then I was like there for like 2 weeks. I was like, I'm going to be like a full-on MMA fighter. I don't know where I got this. Not really, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Muay Thai too.
Nice.
So here I am, like, doing like Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu. And after like 3 days of just training, like I'm John Jones or something, a 17-year-old, he landed a kick like right at my knee and sprained my MCL. And
no.
Yeah, no, my body reminded me really quickly that, I'm 35 and out of shape and I need to slow down. So, that the ego blow was the worst.
I'm sure it was.
It's just
being
worst.
Reminded that you're getting old is the worst.
It really is, man. But no. So you know what, man? I've been kind of just taking it easy. Really diving in a lot to some new technologies. I'm going to save that for our next dev corner. But I've been diving into a lot of GraphQL.
Oh, that's fun.
You and I both have worked a little bit with Hasra, and that's an expanding technology. Worked on some other things around GraphQL. So next dev corner, got some stuff. But yeah, man, I've just been, I don't know if you do this, but I have like 2 weeks where I'll go crazy coding, and just get like really into some stuff, and then I'll cool off for a little bit, and then like I'll find another little technology. I'm like, oh, I want to learn that, and just dive right in. So,
definitely goes in spurts.
Yeah.
So speaking of technology I'm not that familiar with, our guest today is in a side of the technology sphere that I really have not looked at and know very little about.
Ken, I know nothing. Me trying to come up with questions on this one. I was like, so we're bringing in Danielle. We're going to be talking digital marketing, and don't be surprised if my first question is like, what is digital marketing? So
what do any of these terms mean?
So it's going to be a great podcast. If you're on the technical side, this is a part and an aspect of the business that's important that we don't know a whole lot about. And if you're on the business side, this is a part that you've probably heard a million times, but we're going to get outside of the buzzwords today. We're going to get a deep dive onto what is digital marketing, how does it impact your business. So I'm really excited about it. We're going to be right back. We'll be back with our guest, Danielle. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you again for being here on the SEQTEK Podcast, and welcome our guest, Danielle Thompson. Danielle, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I am doing fantastic. I'm so glad that you're here. Kenn and I were just talking in the open. We know nothing about digital marketing. You're a digital marketing expert, over a decade of experience, a lot of experience in SEO optimization, which we're going to get to. But let's just start here, okay? Because the average person going on about their day, when you say digital marketing, you like, first, if you just say marketing, most of us just think like Mad Men,
Right.
It's true.
like ad agencies, right? And then you think digital marketing, it's like, well, what is that?
I think of like, are you making like Facebook ads all day or
social media, right?
Social media or what? But I mean, there's got to be more to it than that.
100%.
So just really broad, like, can you give us an overview of what you do in digital marketing?
Digital
Absolutely.
marketing for dummies right here.
Absolutely. So, we have gone far beyond the Mad Men days. So, digital marketing is a really broad term for helping businesses get found online. So, it is, yes, it's social media ads, it's search engine optimization. It is basically bringing advertising to where the people are. They're in front of their televisions, they're on their phones. We have gone away from billboards and brochures. Those are traditional marketing styles, or you get things on your door, or have postcards mailed. But who keeps those anymore, or really pays much attention to them? I don't. I throw them in the trash because or recycle. I throw them in the recycling bin. Sorry, I try to remember to recycle them.
Yeah.
But digital marketing is, have you ever thought of something, or you've been Googling something like, gosh, I need a new microwave. And you're thinking it, you might even speak it out loud to your spouse or your partner, whomever. And next time you're scrolling Facebook, you're getting Dyson ads, right?
Yeah.
And so that's an aspect of digital marketing, is getting served those ads after you.
So they are listening to my thoughts. That's what you're telling me.
We are in
the
your head.
conspiracy is real. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, but it is, whenever you see a website and it says, cookies, enable your cookies, that is really something that companies are using to track what you're looking for, and then serve you the ads or show you the things that they think you would also be interested in. So it's like creepy technology, but it works. It definitely works.
Okay, so that I love. Please say that first line again, because actually you took digital marketing and I think you really simplified it for a lot of us. You just basically said it's helping your business get found online.
That's 100% it.
Ooh.
It's not that complicated.
No, that's good.
That's what
that's
it is.
good.
It's 100%. I mean, if you boil it down, we want to get people to know you, like you, trust you. And by having your presence online where other people can rate you with reviews, or if they like you, they're providing that social proof that you are a likable, trustable company that people should do business with, or the exact opposite, that you shouldn't be trusted or liked and people shouldn't use you. So it's just getting your online presence. It's helping people find you where they're looking, which is online.
So my first question, I'll base just off that is, I think a lot of people still grab, when you say digital marketing, the number one thing that everyone goes to is social media, right? Yeah. How much does social media dominate the digital marketing landscape? Is it really as intense is it really as dominant as we keep hearing, or are people missing the mark by focusing so much on social media and not a lot on their SEO and other things?
So you're going to hear me say this a lot, and I can back it up every time, but it definitely depends. If digital marketing was going to have a slogan for those of us who do it, it would be, it depends. So it really depends on the market.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a B2B, a business to business, whatever your product or service is.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be a big on or social media push, especially if it's parts for an engine or manufacturing parts, things of that nature. So in that industry, it's not going to be something as big in social media. I'm working with right now a friend of mine who is a realtor. And realtors, that they need to have a social media presence for their marketing, because that's such a saturated market. I think at probably most places in the U.S.
Yeah.
So they really need to set themselves apart. And again, it goes back to that know you, like you, trust you. So they can see these people, they can see what they're like, they can get kind of an idea of their personality, and then make the determination if that's who they want to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's back up a little bit. Before we got on, you kind of gave us a little bit of overview of this, but for the listeners and viewers, you didn't really go to school for digital marketing. You kind of fell into it. You want to talk a little bit about your journey towards digital marketing, and you had mentioned that it was kind of an abrupt change, and so do you want to just tell the viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm obsessed with what I do. I love the industry. And it's been about a decade now. I was just taking jobs that pay the bills, as so many younger people do. I wasn't terribly young at the time, but younger. You're just taking a job that meets what you need to make, annually, has benefits, and is, an 8 to 5 job. And I had been doing that, and I got this position with a recruiting agency. I had been there for, I think, about 3 years when the oil and gas market took a downturn, and our clients were largely oil and gas clients. We went from placing $250,000 drilling engineers to $15 an hour contract refrigeration techs. So my boss came up to me. I think we had 5 people employed at the time. My boss came up to me and she said, "I need for you to learn SEO." And I said, "I don't know what that means." And she said, "We have to make sure that our website ranks on the first page of Google when people are looking up Tulsa recruiting firms."
Right.
And until that moment, I had never thought about how Google ranks businesses. Like, is it alphabetical? Is it the newest? Is it the oldest? I had no earthly idea. And she just said, "Figure it out," and walked away. And I just Googled it, what is SEO? And I just fell down this rabbit hole. There wasn't a whole lot that I could find, a decade ago.
For sure.
There was a guy who had a YouTube channel, I think out of Australia, and I just consumed everything that he put out. We had a new website built by a local website builder here. They kind of showed me the back end of WordPress. And, fast forward to today, I have, I think, 13 hours of community college that probably expired 2 decades ago. And that's it. Otherwise, I am 100% self-taught, which is wild because I've also taught boot camps at the college level, digital marketing boot camps. And it's been a fun thing that these people who are taking the boot camps, they might not have traditional education paths. And for me to say, "Hey, listen, I'm here teaching you at San Diego State University, and I have 13 hours of community college from 2 decades ago. You don't have to have a degree."
Isn't that the coolest? I have a very
best.
similar experience. I graduated a boot camp, and now I didn't actually ever complete college, but I teach at a very big university, or I at least tutor and TA. Some coding fundamentals at this college, and it always just blows my mind because I'm like, I didn't even graduate college, and here I am. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's the best because we're not beholden to these huge student loans.
Right.
Yeah.
We can have this amazing career. Like I said, I'm obsessed with what I do. I
For
love
sure.
it. I think about it all the time. I dream about it. But it doesn't take my paycheck, biweekly to pay off student loans. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. So you had mentioned talking about your pathway here, SEO. That was the first thing that came up. I have to admit, I know what it is at a really high level. Like you had already said, we want to show up on the first page of a search result. But we had talked about we want to do a deep dive. Do you want to talk a little bit about how does that work? How does Google or some of these other search engines rank a website? And you don't have to give away all your secrets, but just at a high level, what does it mean to have good SEO?
Sure, I can tell you what it means to have good SEO today. That might not be the fact for tomorrow or next week or next month. So Google has an algorithm that updates. I think last year it was like 5,000 times a year. So what is good for today's SEO might not stand. And Google has a reason. They don't want for people to trick their system, or it's called black hat SEO. So it's kind of behind the scenes. It's not ethical. It's not ethical SEO. So there are, I would say, 5 major ranking signals. And those are so they consider it on-page SEO. So the things that you see on page, like keywords. So whenever you're typing something in, like you wanted to get the new microwave, you might look at best microwave brand or something like that. We want for our websites that we work with to rank for certain keywords. So what people are looking for. So we're looking to see, first of all, within the geographic. So within the Tulsa metro area, who is looking for what? Are they looking for the best microwave brand? Are they calling it something else? Are they looking for another search term? So going to what platforms we use, what technology we use. We're very fortunate in digital marketing that Google actually provides free platforms for us to look at. So I use Google Ads, even though I'm not running an ad. So this is completely for organic, which is search engine optimization, SEO. Those are organic results that we're looking for. But you can still go into Google Ads, and they have something called the keyword planner, and you just plug in your city where you are, or cities wherever you want to look, and you can get who is looking for what. You can just toss in their microwave, and it'll give you a list, and then it'll tell you how many people within this this demographic or geographic are looking for microwaves, and then you can use those to target what people want.
Yeah, I think when it comes to SEO, and this is why I was asking about social media, I love your answer that it depends. And I think that even though, it's somewhat abstract to say, it depends, I think it's a really good answer, because when I think of, SEO, search engine, optimizations, a lot of businesses don't just do one thing.
Right.
But one thing can drive a lot of your traffic, right? Depending on what's most popular. So, for example, a digital transformation consulting agency, right?
Right.
Do a lot of things. We work with a lot of technology, but if that consulting company, if that technology company was, let's say, promoting Visual Basic, which is kind of a language, coding language that expired like a decade ago. It didn't really expire, just like not really supported. No one really uses it. Probably not the greatest results, right? But when you target for some more modern languages, you're going to get a lot more traffic. And what you might get is, I think subsequently people understanding, oh, they do all these other things as well, right? So I like that answer, and I love what you're talking about here with SEO, because I think that for some people, like you said, it could be just social media, right? But for some people, SEO optimization, it sounds like, could really be the best thing for your business, is really scoring high in SEO, right?
Absolutely. I think every company should have a website. I've come across a lot of home industries, like your plumbers. They might not have one because for the last 3 decades, they were sending out an annual, Christmas card to remind you of their existence. And that's just what they've kind of lived on, is word of mouth and, these kind of ancient marketing techniques. Yeah. So I think everybody needs digital marketing, and that's just the way that we live now. I mean, when's the last time that you all picked up like your yellow pages and looked for a mechanic? Or
is there even such a thing anymore?
I got one the other day. Yeah, they put one. I was like, what am I gonna do? Recycle? I mean,
And what you said about the mail was right for me. Like, I check my mail maybe once a week, and almost everything just goes straight into the trash without me looking at it. I'm just like, oh, is this something I need to keep? Nope. Don't care what it is then. So
Exactly.
One of the questions that I had, which is in the past, email has been a big digital marketing piece. Do you still see email as a primary mean? People used to be that they were, really focused on how can I build my email list? How can I, get people to sign up for my newsletter or whatever that is Yeah. With my email address. Is that still a thing, or are we moving away from that? Because I'll tell you, truthfully, for me, I don't even check my email that much anymore.
Right. Well, I'm a big proponent of a holistic marketing strategy. So I think that you should look at it as a sphere. And there's all of these different pieces that are going to make it whole. So email marketing might be a good thing for you to focus on, but I wouldn't say to solely focus on social media or to solely focus on email marketing. I think that there's a good way to integrate several different products and make your marketing a more robust thing. If you just do one, you're just cheating yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? You want to attack everything at a lot of different angles, right? A lot of different. Now, What so for the people out there though, I think one of the things in the very, the little prep I was able to do before this podcast, it brought me to a few blogs where I guess some people question whether or not digital marketing is even real, right? Like I saw multiple blogs. It's like, is digital marketing real in 2023? Is digital marketing worth it in 2023? What is the skepticism behind digital marketing?
I'm sure that some people think that it's not a feasible thing at this point, but if you think about whenever you're looking for things, where are you going? When you're shopping, what do you do? What's your first step? If you're making a large purchase, a new car or an appliance, you're employing digital marketing to help you make that decision. You're higher up in that sales funnel because you're still in that the discovery phase, if you will, of what you want. And then you might get down, think of some tennis shoes. You're still looking online for the best tennis shoe brand or a certain style or color. That's still digital marketing because those things you're still being served those images. And then it's just driving you further down that sales funnel to where you're either going to make a purchase online or in the store. So, it's digital marketing, even if you don't convert.
Okay. So, and what about, I think for some of these articles, one of the things that they're talking about is that digital marketing isn't necessarily an instant gratification business, right? Like you can't just say, hey, we're going to optimize your digital marketing, your SEO, your social media, and I can have 5 new sales to you tomorrow, right? But unfortunately, that is a little bit of where digital marketers can get trapped, is like, I'll get you 100 new clients in 100 days, like something kind of silly like that. And then it's like, but it seems like digital marketing is actually a journey that you're going to need to set it up. You're going to need to invest in it. You're going to need to do it all the time. And then you'll see results, right? Like you're not going to get 10 new clients tomorrow because Danielle came in and did her thing, but you can over a year see 100 new clients, right? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because that seemed to be also part of, just what I was seeing was there's just a little bit of skepticism in that digital marketing seems to maybe sometimes market quick results when really it's a long tail ROI.
Absolutely. Well, I think that you should be I would really take a second look or a really hard look at anybody who's promising you anything that sounds like it might be too good to be true.
That's like anything, right?
Absolutely.
Like the trainer who's like, I'll help you lose 50 pounds tomorrow. It's like, okay.
Right. Or your MMA stuff where you thought you were going to be Joe Rogan by the weekend. You can't make those promises. Well,
Man, Danielle, you're bringing me back.
Sorry,
you're right. But you're right. That's good feedback. That's good feedback.
And I would never tell someone, hey, by 30 days, we're going to see an uptick in your organic traffic, because there are so many different things. What if Google has a big algorithm update and the agency or whoever set up their SEO before their website really did some things that were not ethical, and then SEO is going to tank because of this algorithm update? I don't make promises. I just say, hey, these are some of the case studies that I have for things that I've done previously in these different industries, and it's such a fluid. Digital marketing is so fluid. So if I can set something for the next 30 days, I'm just watching it. It's an exploratory at that point. I'm just seeing, what are the hours that people are looking at this? What are the times that people, what ages, what are they male? Are they female? So, and then I can make changes based on that. But going straight out the gate, there's no promises that can be made. We're just trying. We're just doing our best. That's what it is.
Well, so from a business perspective, like if you were going to be talking to a business person, you kind of got thrown into this from inside the organization. They were like, we need digital marketing. We need it now. We want to train you. Is that so? If let's say I'm a CEO, a CTO, and I'm like, okay, we need to update our marketing presence. We're not getting enough, sales leads, whatever it is. Is it something where you think that hiring a consultant would be beneficial, or is it something where you really need to know the business that you're in and you need an internal person? What advice would you give somebody that wants to start down this path of updating their digital marketing, but really don't know what to do to start off with? Like, what would you say to them?
They need to, first of all, they should just talk with other people. Hey, what do you do for your digital marketing? Do you have an in-house person? You don't have to have an in-house person to have a really good, solid digital marketing strategy. I've worked both internally and I've worked at the agency level. So at the agency, I worked with like a Dungeons and Dragons client. I've worked with a veterinarian.
That's so cool.
It was the coolest. I was like reading Mandarin.
So cool.
I didn't have any idea. I was like, what's bear folk? And I didn't know. But it was great because I got to learn a little bit about it. So when you're going through a marketing agency, you can find some who are just in the legal vertical or just do home services. I really liked working with all kinds of different places because I love to learn. Being in digital marketing, you have to love learning because things can change on a dime. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to have somebody in-house. You need to have an agency that you have a good, really transparent relationship with. Sadly, there are some marketing agencies who are just like a set it and forget it agency. They'll take your $5,000 a month. They'll get you 20 hours of work, but that's about it. They're not constantly monitoring for optimizations. And things like paid search that are every single day, you can't set it and forget it. Maybe SEO you can try some things, wait for 30 days, kind of see what's going on, and then you're making some different optimizations. But the paid, those go so fast, and you might only have like a 30-day period that your client or my internal job right now, we just did an ads campaign for a conference that's going to be happening in the Pan-African area. And so I was running ads in like Tanzania, Ethiopia. And so it was really interesting, but I had to watch it every single day. That was my first thing that I did was, okay, what time were people engaging with the ads the most? I've never ran ads in Africa. So it was a really cool learning experience. A lot of the ads that, like if you were to go and check out, like if you, God forbid, were in a car accident and you went and checked Tulsa personal injury attorneys, every time you click an ad, that costs them upwards of $250. It's so expensive. Those bigger like attorneys, a lot of home industry services like plumbers, things of that nature, they have really, really high, they're called cost per click because there's so much competition in the area.
Yeah.
But whenever I was running them in Africa, it was, 3 cents a click, 6 cents a click, opposed to, upwards of hundreds of dollars.
Wow.
So yeah. And those are the brand awareness is best built through, I would say, those paid ads, because you can get a really quick, if your agency or your internal person is doing it correctly, you can get a pretty quick uptick in your traffic or your phone calls or whatever you're looking for, your form fills, what have you, because you are paying to play. You are paying to be up there. You're paying for it to be the first thing that people see. A lot of people don't go down to the organic. They're just looking at those ads. They can be really, really pricey though.
Yeah. You mentioned conference, and so I was wondering about like where does the traditional marketing and the digital marketing meet? Like, do you see a synergistic effect, like in doing like conferences and networking and all of these kind of traditional ways that you would get the word out about your brand? Does that combine with the digital space, or is that something where they're kind of in separate fields, separate areas?
I think, again, if you look at a holistic marketing plan, you have to take into account maybe not billboards and brochures, but the company that I work internally for, Hogan Assessments, we have a worldwide presence and we do have conferences. We have distributors that we work with in these different areas. And so the distributors might employ something like an email marketing to the people who have taken our assessments before. These are people who are kind of that low-hanging fruit. They're further down in that funnel because they're aware of our brand. They've already taken these certifications or some kind of course with us. And so they're the ones who are going to be more interested in our conferences. So it's kind of a mixture. But hey, always networking. I mean, market yourself, market your company. I just had this fantastic opportunity to go to Cabo San Lucas with a friend with her company. She works for
Good place.
I know,
for spring break.
It was amazing. But she works for waste management. But the whole time I was there, I was like, "Hi, I'm Danielle Thompson. I work with Hogan Assessments," because I'm still, I was pitching Hogan Assessments, along with meeting all of these amazing people, and then also like, "Hey, do you need digital?" Or this one gentleman was like, "Oh, my wife owns a boutique. It's an online boutique, but she doesn't know anything about marketing. Could I send her over to talk to you if you know?" And so things like that, they just happen organically. Years ago, I picked up a client sitting at a cafe in South Beach, Miami, having a Cuban sandwich and the most expensive Bloody Mary of my life. And there was another gentleman sitting next to me. We were both alone. We just started chatting. He owned a satellite company in Arizona because they have sun all the time. Or not satellite. What am I trying to say?
Solar.
Yeah.
Solar. I got you.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
was with you.
Thank you. He did a solar panel company. That's what he had. And he was like, "I have no marketing," but he was in Miami at this big conference, business entrepreneur conference. I think Gary Vee was there or something. And so he was all fired up, and I was like, "That's what I do for a living." And so he and I worked together on a marketing plan for him. So, it's just, always talk to somebody.
So you the digital marketing and the marketing, you guys aren't quite at war
No.
here. Okay, gotcha.
No.
Wasn't sure if they were friends. There's a little rivalry going on. Check out how much better my billboard is than your Facebook post. I don't know.
It really works together. I was working for an agency it was a broadcasting company, but we also partnered agencies. So we sold radio ads and television commercials. But then we were also like, "Listen, you're really cheating yourself if you don't also have ads on YouTube or have a social media presence, SEO, things of that nature. You really should have a holistic approach to your marketing."
So we're winding down. We're getting close to our time here, and my final question I really wanted to ask was, I always like to give away, a few tangible things. We have some C-suite people, who listen, and so let's say you're running a company, you're listening to this podcast, and the whole time you're sitting there thinking, "I don't know if I've ever asked the question to my team, what are we doing in terms of our digital marketing?" Right. And so I'm going to go in the office. I'm going to gather my people, maybe some marketers, and just go, "Hey, what exactly is our strategy? What should I be, what should I hope to hear? And if I don't hear it, what should I be doing to go, kind of find this is, basically what do I need to be doing as a business? Like what are my first steps? What are if I'm up here 30,000 feet, I want to know that my company is doing X, Y, and Z in the digital marketing space to make sure we're staying competitive. What do they need to be asking?"
Sure. They need to be asking, what analytics are we looking at? Are we looking at Google Analytics? Are we looking at SEMrush? Are we looking at Moz? They need to know what analytics is being taken into account, and then what things are being done once those analytics are looked at. How is the team adjusting things based on the analytics? What analytics mean the most to the team? And then I would say, secondly, if they were going in and asking what they were doing, competitive research. So who do you think are our top competitors and what are they doing? So making sure that they've got their,
Gotcha.
they have to, all this is we're looking at the competitors, what they're doing, and we're just doing it better. It's as simple as that. We're
Sure.
just doing what our competitors are doing better. We want for our site to be faster. We want for our keywords to be more robust. We want for our images to load really quickly. We want for our site to be very easy to navigate. So I would make sure that the website is being optimized, competitors are being analyzed, and analytics are something that somebody is constantly looking at least on a monthly basis, and making a plan based off of that.
That's great.
I would also ask what the content plan is. I am a firm believer that blogs, I think that most industries can have a blog
Sure.
and share things. And that's just another way to, again, people want to know you, like you, trust you. You're providing this content that is free, that is helpful, and that's a good way to endear people to you, your product, and your team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
No, like Matt said, we're coming to the end. I just wanted to say thank you so much. This has been really great. I learned a lot about how this stuff works. And like I said, I didn't know very much coming into it. So I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I'm honored to be here. I love talking about it. I could have done, 3 times as long. It's ridiculous. My brain just goes at this speedy rate whenever I'm talking about digital marketing, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, no, it was so great to have you. I think this is a great introduction conversation. I'd love to have you back on
Yeah, for sure.
soon and just get a little bit more into the weeds,
Absolutely.
about how we can help businesses grow their presence,
That's right.
But thank you for being here today. We appreciate it. Hogan Assessments, as she said, amazing company, do awesome. Are they personality tests? Is that what basically they are?
We're kind of a big deal, to be honest. 75% of the Fortune 500 companies utilize our assessments to attract, retain
Wow.
really great talent, and to help their senior leadership teams or executive leadership teams really work in a cohesive way.
Yeah.
And it's just an incredible product. And like I said, it's worldwide. My director's going to be in Paris pretty soon for a big conference that we're having up there. She's been to Phuket recently. It is such a cool product. And talk about creepy. Digital marketing's creepy, but these assessments, they get you. The company's been around for over 30 years, so we have just this wealth of background information in every industry that is employed, that employs people in the United States. So we're one of the longest running companies, so we have just this backlog of data. It's insane.
And that, my friends, is digital marketing.
That's right.
Done right. Right there. Thank you so much, Danielle. We will see you guys here in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks.